recording. And as Clubhouse chatter continues, here is your host, Norm Ordez.
That's right. We have a weather update. It is raining up here at the studio. So, man, Brian, I'm tired of the rain. We've seen too much.
It's been nasty. It's not been a good year. But we need the rain. We need the snowpack here, so we'll take it.
Come on. We also need 75-degree weather, too.
Once again, we need the weather. We need the snowpack. We need the rain. We'll take it.
All right. So our next guest is Jim Wohlford. Jim played for the Royals. He was drafted by the Kansas City Royals, third round of the 1970 amateur draft. And he also played with the Expos, Giants, and Brewers. And he is one of our favorite guests. Jim, how you doing tonight?
Very good. How are you? We're getting some much needed rain down here in California. So.
Yeah, that's what I heard. So how's it going? We haven't chatted with you in a while.
Well, it's going good. My wife's always farmer here in California, believe it or not. She's happy. We got a crop off and it's getting rain and it's all good. And like I said, it's pretty nice when we get the rain. We've got a 4 or 5 year job in California. So
how do oranges grow there in Visalia? Pretty good?
Yeah, my wife's great for the best one in the world. She works really hard at it. A very good farmer by David Mallard, and a very good snapper, Eric Christensen, and we sure look like to be very good.
Nice. Hey, you know who else grows oranges? And I kind of find this funny. Bill Naharodny. You remember Bill?
Okay.
Bill Naharodny grows oranges down. Yeah.
I think he's down in Florida.
Yep, he's down in Florida. He's also, I think he grows his for Sunkist, I believe.
He could very much, but there's a lot of citrus out of Florida. Like there's a lot of sunshine factors here in California.
Well, man, hey, the Kansas City Royals, they did it.
Hey, they did. What a great team. I really enjoyed it. I went back there to speak at the service outside of Kansas City and talk to most teams. It was nice to see them win. They were a very good team. Back fairly good year before. So,
Yep.
I'm glad to see they signed Alex Gordon. I think he's a really good player. Also a very good leader.
You know, and we chatted a little bit about this last week, and, you know, Alex Gordon, you know, George Brett. So when you think of the Royals, I mean, you think of a couple of guys, but George Brett is mainly the consistent choice as for Kansas City Royals. But as Kansas City Royals goes forward in this day and age, you know, Alex Gordon. I think Alex Gordon is that guy and should be that guy.
Yeah, he's the number one pick out of Nebraska.
Yep.
It's kind of like me. He played the infield, but quick into the outfield. He worked very hard. Became a gold glove outfielder. A very good hitter. And he's homegrown. You know, like a lot of players when he played in the 70s, a lot of players are homegrown.
Absolutely. And, you know, I'll tell you that, you know, that American League Central, man, it's going to be tough again this year. You know, the Tigers just signed Justin Upton, and you know, of course, the White Sox they signed who did they sign, Brian?
I have no idea.
Todd Frazier.
Frazier, there
Todd
you go.
Frazier. I mean, everybody is like one-upping, and I'll tell you that American League Central, I think right now is the best division of baseball.
Yes, it's a great division, but the Royals just seem to beat baseball.
Oh, by far.
Great competition. And I think by keeping the nucleus, the key people there, I think they got another chance to go back. And it's not even true that we're going to open age for the 3 World Series in a row. And I don't think we've seen anybody since then have a run like this. So
Right.
it was pretty good.
And it boils down, and we've chatted about this before, it boils down to the clubhouse. It boils down to, you know, the Giants, whatever it is, the Giants have it. The Giants have that stability in the clubhouse. They all get along. And the Kansas City Royals are the same way. Now, on paper, you know, there are better teams on paper than the Kansas City Royals and the San Francisco Giants. But when you come together as a team and, play as a team and become one, that is something like the Dodgers and the Yankees and, the Mets are almost there, but the Mets quite don't have that. And have you ever been in a clubhouse that was all in sync like that?
Yeah, I think our team in Kansas City was definitely built the same way. We didn't have the pitching that the Royals have today, but we had good teams. But that's another team. You got to have great pitching.
Mm-hmm.
You look at the Giants, look at the Royals. They're deep in their pitching, and look at the Mets, what they did this year. Spencer came over, provided some offense, and the other guy got hard spots at second bases, but overall, the team is great pitching to win, especially a great bullpen. I think nowadays, depth in the bullpen is good as it's quarter really strong because most players don't go more than 6 or 7 innings.
Right, absolutely. And, and that is, what, the experts, they'll talk about the depth of, the Royals, for example. You look at the Reds. Well, the Reds had it until Chapman went to New York, and now the Yankees have it. You look at the Yankees bullpen. I mean, man, your starter, it shortens the game up for your starter. Your starter just has to go 6 innings, and they've got 7, 8, and 9 covered.
Yeah, and you pitching depth. The Dodgers haven't had it in a few years. You've got to have really, honestly, you have to have 10 pitchers. I mean,
right.
You've got to have 1, 2, 3, 4 to 10. I mean, I really believe that, and I think teams are looking at also. I think maybe contact. I think the Chicago Cubs struck out 501 times than the Royals did. And I say we were taught to make contact. And I think baseball has gone too much to the strikeout thing. I don't know. I like to put the ball in play because you got a chance to base hit. But there's a lot of strikeouts in the play.
I'm looking at your stats, and you were talking about strikeouts, and so I had Gene Locklear on during the 445 show, and we talked about strikeouts. And your career, 15 years, you struck out 376 times in your career. And so Mark Reynolds, I'm going to use Mark Reynolds for an example. He's a friend of mine. And he strikes out. He's done that in a season and a half.
Right.
And so,
going back to Steve Locklear was very good. I played against Steve Locklear in AAA in 1972. And he was a great hitter.
mm-hmm.
And the big thing is, nowadays it's just a different game. And, I don't know. You got guys striking out a lot of time. I just never saw that a lot in this one.
Right. So your 1974 year, you hit 271 and you struck out 74 times. That was your career high in strikeouts.
Right. I had 500 passes.
Which is crazy when you had 501 at bat. Which is crazy. I mean, because that's not the norm anymore. I mean, a great hitter will strike out 74 times now, and hit 301 or whatever. But, I mean, you got guys that are striking out 230 times a season.
Well, it's like Steve Rose, George Brett. When you look at the great hitters, the Hall of Fame players, and I count Steve Rose as a Hall of Famer. They hit the ball well in the way. Look at the stuff. The Tigers came up with this full hitters, full, and then all of a sudden the light went off. Somebody told them, you got to start using the whole field. And you know what? You become a much better hitter. I could see he's changed. The game will change you. And a guy like Josh Henderson, seriously, who was told he was here and almost got sent down last year, got way too much. Home run derby is way overrated. And you know what? He's going to have to judge. He might find himself playing back in AAA.
So, Pete Rose, you hit on Pete Rose a little bit. Today it was announced that Pete Rose will be inducted into the Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame, which I think is about time. And is it about time? Is it time to kind of, you know what, bygones are bygones. Let Pete into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Is it that time?
Yeah, I always tell people, Paul Holden, Alex Stewart, Campbell, the football, they're in the Hall of Fame. Michael Jordan Gamble, he's in the Hall of Fame. Let's get it. Listen, there's a lot of people in the Hall of Fame are English.
Right.
I will say Pete Rose. I said against Pete Rose, and he's a winner. As far as I'm concerned, if you want to thank the baseball, that's okay. But I really believe he deserves a spot in the Hall of Fame. That's my honest opinion. He didn't cheat the game. He didn't take his juice. And I believe that. And a lot of these players today, and I hate to tell you this, they couldn't have played in week play. They didn't even want to sleep half the time I played. You know what I'm saying? So how is this an animal now?
Absolutely. And you know, I'm kind of on the fence with Pete. You know, you go into every clubhouse across America, and there's that rule. You know, do not bet on baseball. But you know, here's the deal. Pete is paid his dues, and you know there is no doubt about Pete being a Hall of Fame player. I mean, you look at what he did in his career. I mean, Charlie Hustle, he was the man, and nobody played the game harder.
Okay, let's take a look at a player. Carlos Gil, 20 years old, right?
Right.
20 years old. Let's say he plays 20 years. He gets 200 this year. He still won't beat him.
That's true.
And you know why? You know why? People aren't playing 162 games now.
Right.
You have to look about Pete Rose. Check out his card. He played hurt. All these guys don't play 140 games.
That is true.
And it's true. It's not easy to do 200 in, let alone as long as he plays. If people have no idea, baseball is a grind. This isn't once a week, 3 times a week. It's every day.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And look at all these. I always tell people, baseball players are athletes. You can go Russell Wilson's an athlete, right? He can play baseball for a bit. Right. There's a lot of athletes cannot get a 95-mile fastball. That's why I think baseball players are some of the greatest athletes to play.
Absolutely. You know, and people. You talk about the grind. You know, people get the idea. I mean, one, you earn so much money in baseball now that it's ridiculous, and so people hate that fact, and so they think that you're coddled. You know, you earn $132 million, you know, over a 6-year contract, you're coddled. But let me tell you, man, I know people who are in the game. Well, they're out of the game now. I have a buddy who worked in sports medicine, and he's retiring. His body is broke down, and that's his job. His job is to work on athletes. And when people offer him game tickets and stuff like that, he cringes. He's like, I don't cross that line, because this is a job to me. This isn't, something for me to go out and enjoy, And, the first full season I worked in minor league baseball, I worked a season in Lancaster, California in 2006. And so I was gone for 7 months. I was away from home. And I love baseball. I love baseball with all my being. But I came home in September. The Salem Kaiser Volcanoes were in a pennant race. And I have a good buddy of mine. He's not understanding why I don't want to go to a baseball game. I just caught 160 baseball games over a 6-month period. And as much as I love baseball, it's a grind. You're there every stinking day. Especially if you're a clubhouse manager, your day off, there is no day off. The team might have a day off, but you still got stuff to do. You work, you have maybe 2 days off, 3 days off. It's different on the major league level, but in minor leagues, you might have 2 or 3 days off in the 30-day period, maybe. And then during the season, you have 11 days off. You know, and then you throw in, you know, Major League, you throw in the travel, the fact that you've got to go from LA to New York or vice versa.
Right.
You know, man, it is. I mean, it's a job.
Yeah, it is, and you gotta love it. I tell young kids that you sign, no matter what you sign for, you've gotta love the play. Because you're gonna get a point where you're gonna play somewhere with a bunch of Dominican players, and you're not gonna be doing well, and the lights aren't good, and it's no fun.
Right.
And this is where you're gonna really like to play now.
Yeah. And so do you?
That's why it's a failure sport.
Yeah.
Look how many great athletes have come, how many football players tried to play baseball. Very few of them made it. Brian Gordon, Bo Jackson, the DB,
Deion Sanders, yeah.
Yeah. But other than that, you don't see a whole lot of them, buddy. Most of them don't see it.
You know, and look at all of, you know, look at all the people who have played minor league baseball. And there have been a ton of great players. And I have no doubt, you know, that they're probably, you know, if they continued playing, that they're, you know, we would classify a handful of those as some of the greatest ball players that ever played the game. But for whatever reason, whether it be, you know, injury or burnout, they stop playing. You know, because, you know, it's a February, or even now it's even a January to September, October deal, and you get maybe month and a half of off time.
Yeah. Well, as I started playing many years ago, they didn't want to lift the weights, so I got involved trying to get lifting weights because I felt I had to get stronger because the season wears you down. So now you've got conditioning coaches, you've got chefs in the clubhouse. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a lot different now. You've got a lot of ways to gain 20 or 30 pounds of muscle, and that's okay. But also on the side of that, there's a lot of injuries. That's why a lot of guys, you notice when they get older, they break down a lot easier.
Right. You know, I heard Harold Reynolds one time say that the best, you know, because you got all these protein powders and whatnot, the supplements and stuff, but the best supplement ever was water. You know, and that's kind of old school, because back in your days, you didn't have all these supplements.
No.
You know, you might have, you know, there might have been an early precursor to a protein powder or something like that you made a milkshake out of, but in the early 70s, you didn't have that.
No, I lifted weights for almost at least 10 years. I gained 10 pounds.
Right.
I mean, you didn't get 30 pounds or 40 pounds. I mean, players are bigger now. It's okay. It's just the way it is. They also get injured a lot more, too.
Right. Do you have a couple of players that you really enjoy watching in the game today?
Mike Trout. I love Mike Trout.
Isn't he awesome?
Mike Trout plays the game. I mean, he can beat you with his bat, his glove, his leg. He's truly a great player. I like Bryce Harper, he's a kid. Right there is Mike Trout. I love Bryce as well.
You know, I agree with you on Harper and Trout, but I really love watching Andrew McCutchen of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Oh, yeah, he's a good player.
I mean, that guy can flat out, there's a lot of players that can flat out play.
And Carl Free, I think he's going to be 20 years old. He's a real deal. Shortstop the tough position. He's going to be a great player.
He is. Who does he remind you of? Does he remind you of anybody?
Well, you know, it's hard to say. You know, he's got speed. He's got, I mean, stick is, you know, the power. He's got everything. You know, maybe. What I say, maybe Derek Jeter, but he's going to get more power than Jeter.
You know, I'm thinking Alex Rodriguez. You know, you look back and you look at. You know, he's got more speed. He's got more speed than Cal. You know, he's got pop. Cal had the pop. Cal, you know, set the standard of the big shortstop. And
Right.
you know, Cal was solid defensively. You know, but Correa's got much more speed, and I think he's got a little bit more range.
Oh yeah, you know, and you look at Alex Rodriguez, he was a shortstop on 2000. I mean, Alex Rodriguez, what impressed me this year about him is how he sat out at his age and had what a big year he had. I mean, that's unbelievable. That told me that this guy's just a great player. I mean, I got to give it to him. I mean, really seriously.
You know, I came back. I didn't know what to expect, but he came back, and he came back humble. You know, he came back humbled, and he came back like the Alex Rodriguez of old, just ready to work, ready to grind it out, and just wherever the cards fell, they fell. And he had a hell of a season, and it was hard not to pull for him. I was rooting for him all season. I mean, he had a heck of a season.
Yeah, he did. He showed me that this guy's a great player. You know, people ask me about Roger Clemens and Barry Bonds. I too believe they're Hall of Fame players. They're Hall of Fame players no matter what. They were the Hall of Fame players, whether they took the step or not. That's what I believe.
Right.
Barry Bonds hit the ball solidly as good as anybody has seen. I mean, his swing was short as anybody has seen.
Yep.
Period. And Clemens, oh my God, he could throw. So, you know, some of the other people I'm not so sure, but I know those two for sure should be in Hall of Fame.
I agree. I'm not so.
And Lee Smith, by the way, Lee Smith.
You know,
he played 15 years in the league. I hit off Lee Smith. To me, it's a travesty not in Hall of Fame.
Lee Smith,
That's wrong.
I agree with you, and I get to have dinner with Lee Smith usually once every season because he's a roving instructor with the Giants, and so he comes through Salem Kaiser. Usually spends, usually 3 to 5 days here in town,
Yeah.
and he is
Good guy.
one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. And him and Vita Blue, are almost the same guy. You know.
Yeah, I agree with you. And as a team, the nobody's sponsoring, that's part of the Hall of Fame. You know, one thing I don't like about it, and you might not agree with me on this, I think players, ex-players, as managers, they should be able to vote. And there's what the fans. I really believe that. I live with Tim Rose. Tim Rose is very close, man. He's a Hall of Fame.
Absolutely. And Tim Raines, Tim Raines, I got to know Tim a little bit over this last summer, and you know what? I totally agree. Tim Raines is a Hall of Famer. In my eyes, Dale Murphy is a Hall of Famer. Dale Murphy was the best outfielder. He played the best outfield for 4 or 5 years of his career. National League Most Valuable Player, back to back. And
there's a lot of guys. How about Tony Oliva? I can go on and on.
Right.
I mean, it's just, I'll say a great player that nobody understands. Dick Allen.
Yeah.
Dick Allen. I really get Dick Allen. See, some of these people never started playing.
Right. Veda Pinson,
Yeah, I play with Beta Pitt. Really good. Here's another guy. 2,700 lifetime hits.
Yeah.
Well, it's been Mickey Mantle. It's still the fastest, the first base, 3.2 seconds in the history of the game.
Something needs to be done. The voting system has to be overhauled some way. And I don't know, whether if you have a committee of former players or managers or coaches or what, and have fans. I think the writers' involvement, I think you keep that, but don't solely leave it to the writers. We've got to come up with something because there are a lot of people who belong in the hall that aren't in the hall. And,
no doubt about it. I agree with that.
And Lee Smith, Tim Raines, Veda Pinson, You know, Edgar Martinez, you know, he was a DH, but you know what? He was the best DH in the game when he played. And, you know, the man can hit, you know. And
yeah,
so,
and you know, it's just the way it is. It's just the longer you go, it's like the Texas committee. There's just some guys, you know, that you got to get in there, but, you know, that's just the way it is, you know, and it's always fun to be like that.
right. Jim, is there anything else? Is there anything else you wanted to touch on tonight?
No, I think, like I said, the Royals look good for next year. I think you're right, the Tigers up themselves. I think the Yankees and the Red Sox are going to be a lot better. I think out west, you're going to see, I think, both Texas teams, the Rangers and the Astros fight it out. So the American League and the National League, heck, who knows? You know, I mean, it's going to be start open the National West. And the Cubs, I'll tell you what, I told people last year, Joe Madden and a lot of my friends in St. Louis didn't believe it. Now they believe it. You're going to see the Cubs only going to get better.
Oh yeah, they are so loaded. Even in the minor league system, you know. And I had Jacob Hanneman on before you, one of the Cubs' top prospects, and we were chatting, and you know, and I told him within the next 2 to 3 years, the Cubs will be in the World Series, possibly winning one. It's going to happen. They are not the lovable loser Chicago Cubs anymore. And, you know, they did it just like the Kansas City Royals did and the Houston Astros by draft and by, you know, grooming that homegrown talent and bringing up from within. You know, you go out, you get a couple of key players from, you know, trades or free agents, but most of those guys are from within. And that's the way it's done. That's the way it used to be done. And, you know, the Dodgers, I mean, hey, the Dodgers are a great team, and they're going to win. But, you know, there's something to be said for the way the Royals have gone about their business, the Astros and the Cubs.
Well, Bill Epstein was a smart guy. He was getting Joe back to I to the top of the cage. And, you know, everyone played with Joe Madden. Plus, they got money in Chicago. And I think Ned Yost and Steve Norris done a super job in 22. The Dodgers, on the other hand, they, you know, let Frankie go with, I thought that was a mistake, but
big mistake.
That should go tell. And Tony Ruth is a pretty smart guy, so he's fucking. And so you're going to see the Diamondbacks greatly improved. And so anytime you get the big sheet, I mean, solid, I mean, like I said, it's going to come down. You've got the arms knocked out because you're always going to have injuries. So each team has to have depth in their bullpen and their mound and also on the bench.
Right.
Guys will get hurt.
It's an exciting time in baseball. You know, you've got the resurgence of the Cubs, the Mets, the Royals, the Astros are coming back. You know, it's an even year, which means the Giants have a shot at the World Series this year. I don't know about that, but you know, hey, one can hope. I'll tell you what.
I'll tell you what, I like Johnny Cueto. I really like him. I think he's a heck of a pitcher. I think the margin of the project, I think, with Bochy and Rigetti and Mark Gardner, they can help him. I tell you what, we've got a few other guys that are I mean, a few things here and everybody's healthy. Here we go.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
I trust their judgment. They're all the same team, organization, the same people running it. I don't doubt they're doing it all.
Right. Yep. All right. Once again, Mr. Jim Wohlford. Jim, thanks for coming on the show again. It's always a pleasure to have you. And we'll catch up with you. We'll catch up with you somewhere during the season.
All right. Call me back.
All right. Thank you. Once again, Mr. Jim Wohlford. And you know, Jim is old school. You know, playing with those old Royals teams and Giants, and you know, I love the honesty, Brian. I love the fact that you know him and Gene Locklear today are no frills. I mean, they don't hold back. You know,
They don't,
and that's good.
Jim's awesome. Jim tells you exactly how he feels, and he doesn't care what you think, and that's perfect.
You know, the man played 15 years in the major league. It doesn't matter whether he was a star or not. He played 15 years in the major league. He knows what it takes to stick around. You know, I don't care, you know, I mean, not everybody is going to be your star. You know, not everybody is going to hang around for 15 years. You know, he was a key component in the Kansas City Royals early World Series years. And like I said, he knew what it took to stick around for 15 years.
Great to hear him. He has some great insight, and the guy's been there, and he said he wasn't a superstar, but he was there. He hung around. Not many people hung around the majors for more than 4 years. How many people even get to the majors compared to being
exactly.
15 years? So
exactly.
Pretty cool.
You know, and you know, people, you know, one of the things that drives me nuts is people, oh, he sucks. You know, you get to the major league level at whatever sport you play, whether it's the NHL, NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball, tennis, you get to that level, you don't suck. Now, you or I, we might suck, but you know, you don't get to the minor league level and suck.
No, there's a lot of people, there's certain people out playing in the league, trying to get in the league, that people are saying, hey, he can't catch, he can't hit, can't hit his way out of the paper sack. You know what? That guy, even though he can't hit in the major league level, that guy can play. And, you know, and people, I won't say us, we recognize it, but there are people who say, hey, he sucks, he's only a minor league player. You got to be good to get a minor league. Big time good.
He's playing there and you're not. You know,
True that.
Bottom line. So, hey, we're Clubhouse Chatter. I'm Norm, that is Brian. We are sponsored by, there's Brian, baseballnews.com. To be the best, you must train like the best. Chris Gazelle up there in Vancouver, Washington. Baseballism. If you like my shirt or my hat, baseballism.com. Hey, there's even a shirt behind Brian. You got the flag man back there. You see it? There you go. They got the flag man. Hey, I see a New York Police Department jersey as well. Yeah, you can buy that on baseballism.com as well. Check them out. Great guys. Mitch Canham, Skipper Mitch Canham, Clinton Lumber King, baseballpros.com. His dad, Mark Canham, Indian Design, does our shirts and our hoodies for us, and they're pretty good quality, Brian. I know
They're great quality.
Did you get a hoodie yet?
I haven't got a hoodie. I wore the t-shirt the other day.
You got to get you a hoodie.
Had a couple comments too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Good for sale.
In fact, have the fellow teacher who said, "How can I get my hands on one of those?"
They're for sale.
I told them that.
They're for sale. They're cheap.
Yeah, not bad.
They're cheap. And so we stream live every week on yamhilltoday.com. Hey, what do we got for YST?
Well, hello. Well, YST this week, once again, we'll be taking a break. So we're just going to hang out. YST is just kind of hanging out. How's that for an answer?
There you go.
Very big.
Hanging out is good.
Very big.
And then, hey, we're looking for sponsors. You know, we're wanting to take this a couple steps above, you know, looking to get a website going. If you want to sponsor, looking to sponsor somebody or a show, hey, we can work something out. normbo18@gmail.com. We're on Twitter, Clubhouse Chatter, 1T. We're on Facebook, Clubhouse Chatter with Norm. We're also on YouTube, MajorLeagueBaseball.com, Clubhouse Chatter. And we're on iTunes. Basically, you know, I want to share our passion for the game of baseball with the world. And, you know, my playing experiences were limited, but I have worked in professional baseball for a number of years. I've got all these contacts of guys who have played, who have coached, you know, and I want to share that passion. And, you know, I would love to take it to Uganda and Israel and share it with those guys over there, these countries who are just starting to develop playing baseball. We got the World Baseball Classic coming up. and I'm really excited. I'm really excited to follow the boys from Israel. Pretty excited. Hopefully they make the cut this year, and help us take baseball global, and share that passion. And so, if you want to talk about that passion with me, email me, normbo18@gmail.com. I'll be willing to share that passion. All right, once again, I'm Norm. Hey, we're lining up good shows for next week. It could be the best Tuesday of shows we've ever had. So we'll see how it falls out.
And just wait, we'll celebrate our 100th show next week.
We will celebrate our 100th show. Holy cow!
Wow.
100 shows.
At least, yes.
Hey, Josh and Kelly, do you have 100 shows? I have 100 shows. And so, hey, my friends over there in 90 Know It All, check it out. The great guys over there. Maybe I'll invite them for the 100th show. We'll have a 100th show party.
There you go. Sounds like fun.
All right. Hey, everybody, have a good week. Baseball's kicking it up, starting to kick up a little bit. You got pitchers and catchers reporting in about a month. I'm getting excited. Harold Reynolds is getting excited. And there you go. So thank you for listening from Maya, the Clubhouse Chatter Dog, and Brian and Norm. See you next week. I gotta quit doing this.